If you could be a superhero, which one would you be?
I already know that, girl. You know, I'm going to be Wonder Woman. Because I like to fly. I like to have that lasso of honesty or truth to be able to get the truth.
You could beat it out of them, too.
Absolutely. And have superwoman strength that we have.
Oh, so you got Wonder Woman amenities with Supergirl strength. We got a whole new superhero going on. That's what I'm talking about.
Hello, everyone. I'm Boss Babe Keela.
And I'm Girl Boss Lena.
And I'm Bond Girl Jessica.
And you know what that means. It's Whine Down Wednesdays. So we are already prepared for the night. We got our little caps on, our robes. So get comfy, grab your chamomile. We have a show for you. So today we're not going to pull from the jar. We do have a viewer question. Yes. They wanted us to talk about this topic, so I'm going to bring it up. You believe
we got fans, y'all?
We do. We have fans. They enjoy watching our show. And I think it's funny because it's just us being us. Okay. Yeah. What you see is what you get.
Doing nothing special, just
nuts all. So they asked the question, Cougars versus Sugar Daddies. How is perceived and which is more acceptable? Right, ladies, I open the floor. Who wants to take this on?
Woo! Well, let's see. Being the youngest, Jess, do you get hit on by them old Cresties?
Yeah, they love me. I can't say I love them back, but you know, I think a lot of it is the idea. Like, okay, there's one extreme to the other. Some of them might genuinely be like, "Oh, let me talk to her," because nobody knows how old I am anyway. People think I act like I'm older, so they just assume I'm a certain age.
That baby face.
Well, I guess if they've never seen me,
when I first
a lot of people will think, you know, huh?
I thought you were older when I first talked to you, and then I was like, "Oh, she's a baby."
Yeah, I confuse people all the time.
Totally.
But then, like, some of them, it's like, okay, you're childbearing age. I have childbearing hips. You can't see my whole body, but I'm pretty hippie. So people, that's what they look at. I'm just being honest.
Wait a second. I feel like that's a whole nother topic for a podcast.
What did
childbearing hips and childbearing age? What?
That's what I've been told.
We didn't ask you to put out a solicitation.
Oh my God.
No, that's what people have legit said to me.
With childbearing hips.
Yes.
I would slap the hell out of somebody if a man came up and said, "Ooh, you've got nice childbearing hips."
Like,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, but
sorry,
it can be creepy. Some of them can be nice, but it can be a little creepy.
Well, I think, okay, so what about a guy who's, you know, let's say he's in his 60s and he's dating a woman who's in her 20s or 30s. How do you all view that? Does that sound like
on him for the life insurance policy?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And all the benefits of his good job right now. Okay. Because at this time, he's got a little bit of life security and he's got money to play with. You know
so
what I mean?
I've heard it said that sometimes guys will want to date, maybe possibly want to date a woman that's younger than them because they bring the fun, okay, and they don't want to date somebody their age because that person already has problems.
What?
They don't want to deal with those problems. Not Lena flipping them off the finger for you. But you know, they don't want to date somebody in their age bracket because it's not going to be as much fun.
But you can keep up.
They surely can't. They can't keep up with that.
But I mean,
That's fine.
okay, so I can barely keep up with my 5-year-old or not
You know what
9-year-old.
it is? I think at that age, for a man at that age going for a woman that young, he wants to feel like he still got it.
Yeah.
That's, I think, and can he pull something that young and then brag on it, have a bragging factor? Well, I'm such and so, I just turned, 62 years old or 65, and I got me a little ew.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you
Mhm.
this other one, because I've also heard it mentioned from the younger generation that it's like they view it, that's pedophilia.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, kind of. If they're old enough to be like your parent or grandparent, that's
Or
weird.
See
right,
her
or the
kid, daddy,
child.
why you dating her?
Right, and that's like your age, you know what I mean? Like if my mom were to date somebody who's my age or younger, I would feel some kind of way.
I guess.
Mhm.
Even though she's 70, I mean, still though, I would be
Yeah.
like, ew.
So I guess for me, I can see it I see it from the kid perspective, because now that my father is widowed, if I found out he was dating someone younger than me, and I'm 42, so if I found out my father was dating someone younger than me, I would definitely feel some type of way.
Right. What if he was dating somebody? There go my dogs. I'll cut this out.
They trying to chime in on this too, because they was like, "Mama, don't you go getting into that neither."
Go on, girl, with your broke butt. Go on, girl, puppy. Go.
But I also see it from, let's say, okay, so because I am 42, but if I was my father's age, I could also see it from being a woman of that age and being like, okay, you know what? Maybe I do want to talk to somebody who may be a little bit younger. I don't mind talking to them a little bit younger. Can they do something for me? Absolutely not. May I hit it and quit it? Probably. And just keep it pushing. I don't want to
because at that age, there's nothing. At that age, they're not secure in their job.
No.
They're not emotionally secure.
And that's me not wanting to be in a relationship.
The only thing they might be able to offer you is like cuddle time, like cupcaking time,
Maybe.
and energy. But
Yeah.
after that,
Go
you're
home.
going to be paying for them.
Well, no, because you're going home. I hate to tell Jessica about this, but no, that's not the arrangement. We need to set up this contract before then.
Well, how do you feel though about then the reverse? So some of these old ass women, and the one that comes to mind is Cher, because she is notorious, right, for picking these youngins, and she's like a million.
But she's also rich. I think it's different depending on your
Don't get a
income.
pass. They old too. They old.
But I think it's different though, because if you got money, you can do a little more. If you poor and old and you like, youngins, they might not want you, but money makes you cuter. That's what I think.
But it doesn't make it right. I'm like, look at R. Kelly. Can we bring him up? Can we bring up the
okay, hold on. But R. Kelly was
that might be a different
15-year-olds. Let's talk about that, because he was smashing and grabbing 15-year-olds. That's a whole different
Okay, but think about when you were in high school and how cool it was when a 21
I remember,
or a 23-year-old were cruising by, and you thought you
don't think about it like that though. You really don't. You think, oh, he's an older guy, and you're not thinking of it. I think you start thinking about that when you're a parent. Okay? And then you're like, oh my God.
What was I doing?
You're like, that's not okay. That's a grown man. You don't know. Stay away. Like if my daughter did, I would have a fit. But I was telling my son, because I said he's 18, and I said, here's the thing. If a 55-year-old woman is hitting on you, either A, she has a problem, or B, she has a problem with you. She's just toying with you. She's not serious about you. You're just somebody that she's just,
for a good time and not a long time.
You're a good time, and she's looking for somebody that she can possibly manipulate, because you're way older than how they think. I mean, it's easy. It's like stealing candy from a baby,
literally
baby.
Literally.
So it's like, whatever, you have that game on them, and they may catch feelings and not flights.
And they think it's cool because all their friends are like,
older
"Ooh, you're with
woman.
this older woman, and she can do this, and we got tricks." So we don't pulled out the woo wah on them. You know what I mean? And so it's a whole it's a
I'm
whole
dead.
thing.
I'm dead.
Have y'all ever heard of a turkey vulture? Like,
Is that an old
okay,
one?
let me explain backstory. So
Yeah,
I
please do.
specifically remember I was at my I think I was at my godmom's house, and they were talking about cougars, but then they were like, I think there's a cap. So if you're like, I think 65 and under, like dealing with younger dudes, you're a cougar. But they said if you're like 70 plus, then you're a turkey vulture. You ain't a cougar yet. That's what I was told. So I just thought I needed to share that information.
Y'all gonna leave me alone today. I'm just not. Oh God.
Yeah, once you get extra old, you're a turkey vulture.
Okay. This leads me to my next.
Sarah might be a turkey vulture.
No. This is where I'm getting irritated. So why do guys get the cool name? Why do they get to be Sugar Daddy and we get to be Sugar Baby? But a woman is named after a daggum animal. We're ravenous. You're a cougar. You're a
turkey vulture.
Be unattractive with it. Okay? Why do men?
Oh my God.
I'm going to be his sugar baby. He's going to sprinkle me with sugar, lots of money.
Is it the assumption that they have more money?
Them fools is broke. They can't get a real woman. And that's why they after you. Bye. Look at his car. Look at his house. I'm going to need to see some receipts, sir, before you come talking to me. Time now. You finna be my sugar. No, I need to see receipts. And that's why he ain't fooling with me, because a young person is not asking that.
He ain't got no real sugar.
He may be borrowing his friend's car and picking you up. He may be borrowing his friend's Airbnb and picking you up and bringing you over there. I'm gonna need to see. I'm gonna need to see. Y'all ever see White Chicks? When he was over there, he swapped that dude's house and brought that girl over there.
White Chicks.
It was Terry Cruz's house.
Yeah, it was.
Oh God.
Turkey vulture?
My summary is we need to have a better name for men. They need to be along the animalistic realms as well.
But why is it always seems that it is more socially acceptable for men to like deviate and do stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't seem like they get judged as hard. And it almost seems like people prefer women to be sugar babies than cougars.
To be kept. Instead of to be keeping.
So here's the thing. When I was growing up, one of the things my mom always said was that you need to have your own. Because that's how people control you. They get in your head. And she always say, don't you let nobody get in your head. And that's how they control you. So I have always kept, if he's like, oh, you don't have to work. No, I'm going to keep a part-time job because I need to have my own money, cash flow. Not that I don't trust you, but it just gives me a sense of, if I do need to dip, I can dip. Yeah. When I dip, you dip, we dip.
So I have always told my daughter, and I've always tried to live by, don't always have enough that you can cover it yourself. So whether you're with a man or you're even just with a roommate, right? The landlord isn't going to just put her stuff or his stuff out. They putting all y'all stuff out, right? But
you also don't want to be obligated to someone either. That's another one of the life lessons my mother taught me. She was like, when people give you stuff, now all of a sudden you're obligated to them. That's another form of control.
So there's a reason why they call it Sugar Daddy, because Daddy is expecting some sugar.
Yeah.
And lots
and
of
if you don't put out, he ain't gonna put up with you. He gonna put you out and cut you off.
Have you ever heard that? I mean, Jessica got all these old crazy terms and stuff.
turkey vultures. Oh
Yeah,
God.
dirty Santa. You know what I
Dirty
mean?
Santa.
Have you
That's
heard
what
that?
we could call them then. We can call them
Yeah,
dirty
they
Santa.
could be dirty Santa.
If we're turkey vultures,
Old
you're a
dirty Santa.
Santa.
He's the old dirty Santa.
ODS,
Have you ever
old
heard
dirty
that?
Santa.
Have y'all heard that they say old men give you worms? Have you ever heard that?
No, I heard
No.
that one. No,
Oh God, do I even want to know at this point?
that's kind of scary sounding.
That's it. That sounds like
it's
that
like
sounds
when
very parasitic.
they say when a young girl fools around with the old, like don't fool around with an old man, he'll give you worms. That's what.
Never heard
Is
that.
You ever
worm
heard that
symbolic
before?
for something else? Or they really,
No, they were.
I'm
No,
just, you know.
I guess they're just saying he's like old crusty butt. I don't know.
Like
I'm
he's
just
dead in the
Oh,
grave, like he's dead and he's got
yeah,
worms.
he's rotting from the inside out. I'm trying to
And how do you
understand.
get dewormed? That's the question.
That's a good one.
get replumbed by something younger.
Oh my God, and that is our definition of deworming. Brought to you by Lena.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say about that one.
I swear it's a thing. I swear I've heard that before.
I've never heard that, but I'll never forget it now.
Y'all leaving me out here in the cut, man, with this one.
Y'all left me out in the cut with Captain Planet, so I don't want to hear about it.
And Dirty Santa, so we
And
done done it.
we all get left out in the cold.
He's a hero.
Gonna take
Yeah.
some losing down to zero.
So I do not think, okay, but I will say though, so at the risk of telling it people business, I do have,
Business alert.
I have a friend
Ooh, we spilling tea.
whose husband is like 12 to 13 years older than her.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
he's already about to be able to collect Social Security.
Security alert.
And she's like our age or my age. And I'm just like,
Okay. Oh, that begs the question. Okay, so how old is too old? And how young is too young? Let's talk
I
about
think 15 plus is too high. 15
I almost
below.
want to say even 10 years is too much because a decade makes such a difference.
make a
Think of the
difference.
things that were here in the 80s that weren't here in the 90s, that weren't here in the 2000s. It's such a difference.
Well, I feel like, okay, you ever talk to someone younger and you ask them, like, oh, you remember such and such show, or you remember this actor or actress, and they're like, who? What do you have in common? Like, I feel like when you start
That's
getting
what I mean. Yeah.
too far apart in age, you
Disconnect.
have no connection there. You don't understand. And it's another thing I talked to my son about. I talked to him because he was born in 2005. So I talked to him about the difference between, 2000s, and then when 2001 hit, 9/11 hit, that was a huge hit. Right. And I feel like it changed everything. It was like the turn of the century, just changed everything, your perspective.
It did.
I feel like the world kind of went, well, I say the world, but I mean like America, it kind of went dark.
Mm-hmm.
Everything became very, very political, very just, people became more aggressive, I feel.
Very true.
So I was trying to explain that to him, and he's just like, oh, okay. Like he was trying to take it in, but really he has no concept of it because he wasn't born.
No.
And so this is all he knows. He doesn't remember the time when it was lighter. And he's, so that's 18 years ago for now, for him. He's 18. Right. So it's like that age difference. They have no idea what you're talking about.
It's huge.
Only thing they can do is look it up on the internet. They have no experience, right? They can't connect the dots with you. And I need somebody I can connect the dots with. Like my husband, he's years older than me, but we're in the same decade. We're in that same bracket.
Right. I
Mhm.
think if they have to if you hear the, the phrase, "Oh, yeah, I think my mom or I think my dad
Shut it
used
down.
to watch that or used to like that or my mom or dad told me about that," then I'm like, then I need to be dating your mom or dad
Oh my
because
God. I don't ever, oh my God, I don't ever want to hear that. Ever. Period.
well, I've gotten to the auntie stage. I've
Mm.
gotten to the stage where people say, "Excuse me, auntie." Don't
Ah, well, if it makes you feel any better, I do make my 9-year-old, well, I don't make her, but kind of sort of out of respect because it's us. I think Mr. or Mrs. sometimes it's too informal, depending on who you're talking to. Like if it's some of my friends, she'll call them auntie, you know, out of
No, I'm
you
talking
know,
about folks you don't
but regular
know.
people just
Like,
calling you, hey
excuse like,
auntie,
you're like, "Get your old ass out this way of the
or
aisle.
somebody
Excuse
come and
me,
get
auntie."
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you
"What's up,
freestyle.
OG?" I mean, not me, but when a guy says to another guy,
Yeah,
"What's up,
Yeah,
OG?" That's like saying, "What's up, old man?" "What's up, auntie?"
that's true. I never thought about it that way, but that's true.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry for you, friend.
yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes though, I think like even the age difference could depend on the person, because some people are just like old souls
That's true.
anyway,
Yeah.
So maybe that depends. Because like some older people are just like kids; they're very childlike.
I
So
Um,
just
maybe it just
want
depends on the person.
it does, but age happens and ailments happen, you know what I mean, as you get older. And I want whoever I'm with kind of like in that same, I don't want my husband being able to zoom past me,
I don't know if
you
I
know
want to be pushing my husband in a wheelchair.
or that
Like,
either,
let's
that
go
either.
travel. Oh, wait, let me get my oxygen tank, or let me.
It shouldn't have been that funny.
Like, he's on a walker, or, I guess, yeah, like, I need you to have a little zip still. Let's zip together. Like, I
Zip
don't,
zip.
You
obviously,
better get on that hover around and move
yeah.
it, put
I
the
mean,
pedal
and
to
these
the
are,
metal.
and what I'm talking about, because I don't want nobody coming for me in the comments, like, what if he had something happen to him? Like, I don't want nobody
Yes,
coming for me.
but
I'm talking about if it's old age ailments. I'm not
right,
talking about if it's a disability because something happened to him.
right,
I will take care of my
life
husband,
happens,
push
right.
him in a wheelchair. I love my man.
But I mean,
But
I'm
I'm
not
talking
gonna
about
just
old
go
age
on
ailments.
I'm not going on, what is it, Tinder or Plenty of Fish or eHarmony looking for
Elderly
old ass
harmony
man in a wheelchair who's 20 years older than
on
me.
a
You
breathing
know what
tank.
I
He
mean?
got a flip phone. He too old.
He got a BlackBerry.
He got a
Real talk though,
jitterbug.
if my husband could still rock a flip phone, he absolutely would. He does not like technology.
My dad was the same way. He had a flip phone. I was like,
And I'm like, you are not that old, babe. Stop acting like you're 90. Like you're only 44. Like stop. Let's stop
So
this.
how old then? Let's end it on how old are you? What's that a difference between you and your
So
first
I'm 40.
husband?
So for me and my first husband,
Were
or my
how
husband now.
both. Both.
So
I'm
my
just
first husband,
wondering
I was 2 years older than
you were older than
him.
okay.
And my husband now, he's 3 years older than me. So I'm getting ready
Okay.
to turn 42. He's getting ready to turn 45.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the oldest person you dated, Jesse? Younger or which direction, youngest or oldest?
oldest like 37,
And how old were you?
27. Wait,
Oh, that's not
I
bad.
wasn't. That's not right. I'm getting my math off. I don't know. I was in like my early 20s, somewhere there.
And he was 37?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Jessica
Was
got some
Jess was
skeletons.
Jess hiding in her closet?
She not as quiet and I don't care as she claimed to be.
I really don't. I don't talk to people my age, really. They're always older
You
than
know,
me.
and I probably feel because it's like you are
more intellectual on that
I would
level,
say
and
old,
them
she's more of
young
the old
kids
soul that
can't.
she was talking about. She's more of the
Yeah,
old soul. So it's like
yeah,
she probably doesn't really connect with people who are her age because they're not together, and she is,
right,
you know. So I mean,
Mhm.
maturity levels have a lot to do with it as well.
right, right.
But still,
Well,
I feel like a 37-year-old guy and a 27-year-old, again, that begs the question, what's too young and what's too old?
right, right. Oh, that's not. No,
But
she
yeah,
said
he's not
early
old.
20s though.
But here's
Early
the thing,
20s, not
but
22.
he's not old enough to be her father.
Yeah. Because
You know what
I
I'm
then
mean,
saying?
no, technically, but no.
Depends on, I mean, if he was a freak a leak, then yeah, at 12, 13, out there in these streets gang banging.
She said
I
a freak.
mean, some people might be now. Folks be out
And
there.
I totally get that. But I'm saying that, let's say traditional age, right? When do
Typical,
people
right?
normally have children that ain't out there getting their freak on? When do people normally have
Prop
children?
Dustin.
But,
Ah,
uh,
so I mean, I don't feel like that would be because she does have a little bit of, so I guess 10 years
Yeah,
isn't too
it
bad.
really
10
does
years isn't
depend
too bad.
on, I think.
10 years isn't too bad. If they're 10 years older than you, then that's fine.
Then
But
maybe 15, Jesse. I think you said 15. That might be a good.
mm, I think
That's two. I think
anything
that's
I think
two.
anything after 10, 11, that's a stretch.
It starts
I'll give you
becoming.
the 10 just because I like you.
oh, thank you. Thank you. You still giving me a side eye
Hey,
for
let's
it.
say, all right, so let's say you're 20 and you're okay, 21, 22, and you're dating someone 10 years younger than you. That's a 12-year-old. Like, I mean, really think about that. That
Right.
Mhm.
Would you date a
Yep.
12-year-old? Absolutely not.
No, but when I was in my young 20s, I was a bad girl and I did date a 16-year-old.
Was he cute though?
Mhm.
I think the older you get, the more you.
But then, I mean, but I knew in my head also that it wasn't it
But I
wasn't like
think
it
back
was a
then, and this is, and I say back then is like anything prior to the 2000s. I
right,
think back then it was probably more accepted because people
acceptable
didn't really think about that then. Like these days, people are so conscious of everything. They're
of it
so
being
woke
predatory, right,
that they're like, oh, you can't, they'll say, oh, a 17-year-old, but that's, then you have the age of consent or whatever. But,
right.
they don't think, I mean, let's say when I met my husband, let's see, I was 18, he was 21. We had a mutual friend I met, let's see, he was 20, and I was like 17. But I didn't really think about that, oh, he's a
At
man,
that
he's not,
age, right.
you don't think about that. I
Mm-mm.
didn't date that guy, but I'm just saying, like, you don't think about that.
You don't
You
think
really
about that till you're like you said, you're older and you have your
older and
own
you have
kids.
a kid, and then you're like, no, absolutely not.
Then you say, like my dad, do as I say and not as I do.
Oh my God. I never I never dated anybody that was out of my bracket at the time. Like
Mm,
when I was an adult, I dated an adult. When I was a teen, I
right.
dated a teen. Like
You stayed in your
I
lane.
stayed in my
Yeah,
lane, in my bracket. But it wasn't because I thought, oh, this is taboo. He's an older man. Like, I didn't think about that kind
right,
of stuff. Palpitations
right.
were
It was just who you were
yeah,
into at that time, I guess.
yeah.
I still think it's more socially acceptable in the masses, they would say, for a guy to date a younger woman,
Yeah.
but it's still
But is it anymore? Did
but
R.
it's
Kelly
just
ruin
it's
it for
to me,
everybody?
it's just but you see it, like, when I see it, when I'm out, I'm like, "Mm,
Uh-huh.
how
Uh-huh.
much what's her allowance each month?" Or you know what I mean? Like, because
I went.
there's no way I don't want no worms.
And on that note,
We'll see you
we
next
will
week.
catch y'all next week. No worms for Lena. Bye, guys.